Family and friends are remembering 22-year-old Angie Vega. Investigators say a man killed her as she was closing up the family business in Greeley over the weekend.
News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us now with new information from police, and we do want to warn you before we get into this. Some of these details of the case are pretty difficult to hear. Courtney.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, some of this information is disturbing. Angie's mom tells us her 22-year-old daughter was working the evening shift on Friday at her aunt and uncle smoothie and nutrition shop in Greeley. Court records show 24-year-old Marcos Vallejo sat in the business for more than an hour that night, waiting until the last customers pulled out of the parking lot there. Investigators say he used a hatchet during the attack, then sexually assaulted her. Then police say he dragged her body into her car and drove off. About a mile away, another memorial for Angie is growing. This is where officers say they found her car and her body inside. Court documents show that during an interview, Vallejos told police, quote, "I'm your guy," and referred to his right arm as the one that kills people. Police then took Vallejos into custody on suspicion of first-degree murder and sexual assault. He's expected in Weld County Court tomorrow afternoon, where he will be officially charged.
And Courtney, I know that you were talking to us a little bit about the fact that you've been covering this story, and you did ask police if there was a connection between the two.
Yeah, that is a question we asked them over the weekend, and they haven't answered that specifically yet, if this was random or if they knew each other. Hopefully throughout the investigation, that's something that will be uncovered.
Something we'll keep digging into. All right, Courtney Yoon, thank you so much.
This morning, 2 young people are facing charges for the death of 14-year-old Aliyah Salazar in southern Colorado. Her family says she was shot and killed while she was making a video for TikTok with her friends. According to court documents, people in the group were holding a gun while making the videos. Police say they watched a video that was taken right before the shooting. One of the teens told police they saw someone point the gun at Aliyah and fire, but also said it could have been an accident. Aliyah's family disagrees.
I believe it was on purpose.
I believe it was on purpose. The frustration I've got with that is that if you take a life, you should have to pay for it dearly, not with a slap on the hand and say, don't do it again.
The Attorney General's office is handling this case. They won't comment on it because of a court order against pretrial publicity. The new DA, Ann Kelly, will take over when she starts on Thursday. The new DA will have a lot of work to do when she gets started.
That's right. Governor Jared Polis just appointed Kelly as the DA for the 12th Judicial District just yesterday. Kelly previously served as senior deputy DA in Boulder County. She's taking over for former Democratic DA Alonzo Payne. He resigned last month amid calls for a recall. An investigation found he yelled at crime victims and did not consult them about their cases, which is required by law. For nearly 2 months, Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser stepped in to fill that role. Weiser also ordered an outside monitor to oversee the department.
This morning, Democratic Secretary of State Jenny Griswold is claiming without evidence that, quote, the U.S. could lose the right to vote within months. She's saying that could happen if Republicans are elected. Griswold made this claim in an interview with the Guardian newspaper, but when we asked her campaign for any evidence, they didn't give any. Instead, they said they're concerned that Republican candidates for Secretary of State outside Colorado might refuse to certify election results in 2024. Griswold's Republican opponent for Secretary of State, Pam Anderson, who is not an election denier, called Griswold's comment, quote, self-serving and damaging hyperpartisan rhetoric.
More than 150 people living at a hotel in Denver will have to leave by mid-September. City leaders say it's because funding may actually run out. The group is living at the Quality Inn on Zuni. It's one of 3 city protective action hotels. The pandemic order allows the city to use the hotels to house people experiencing homelessness. This was always meant to be a temporary situation, but the people living there didn't know exactly when they would have to move out. That is, of course, until now.
Being that I'm housed makes it easier for me to stay sober because I don't have to stress about where I'm going to sleep every night, where I'm going to go to the bathroom, where I'm going to take a shower, can I get a job and keep it. And without the housing, I have no feelings that there's a good chance I could fall back into things.
City leaders say there are enough shelter options available for the people who need one, but some of the residents tell us they don't feel comfortable in that kind of setting. While between high costs, long commutes, and those busy schedules, preschool might not just be the most doable option for a lot of families right now.
Yeah, it's tough. It often creates a learning gap, especially for students of color. Our Byron Reed shows us an innovative idea from a preschool in Aurora.
Safari and Carter are new, so we have to show them how we do things, okay?
The first day of school is for meeting new classmates.
Hi, Kamari!
And getting students back on a regular learning schedule.
So them learning how to just readjust and get along again and just get back to that structure.
So we're going to go around.
Sharon Logan is a teacher at UBU Early Learning,
This is a blue bus, UBU Early Learning Mobile Preschool.
a preschool on wheels that brings early childhood care to low-income communities.
For them to be in a setting where they know they're comfortable is important, because you can get in a school and they're not comfortable, which makes them reluctant to learn.
30, what's the higher number?
The school is a teacher-led cooperative based on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It gives early childhood education to preschoolers living in homes provided by the Aurora Housing Authority.
It's affordable because we provide it for free.
Roya Brown is the school's executive director. She says they wanted to start the preschool as a resource for BIPOC students.
I used to be a high school teacher, and many of my BIPOC students coming, they had vast gap as far as their education in science and math, and we are hoping to close that gap.
It's a smaller class size, it's more comfortability with the teachers, and it's not looking at a whole world like, I'm afraid that he's over here doing all of this and I don't know the answer, or I know the answer, but no one's paying attention to me.
One in how many 100s?
These educators hope this first day of class will get students back on track for learning
Good job, high five.
and help build their self-confidence on the road to academic success.
They're confident in knowing, and if they don't know, they're confident in learning.
For Next, I'm Byron Reed.
I love this idea.
It's such an incredible idea, and I love it for so many reasons. I'll get into that in just a little bit.
It's genius. Brown says UBU Early Learning has been getting a lot of requests from communities in need of their services, so they're trying to add more teachers and classrooms on wheels.
Well, I don't have to tell you this, but yes, that's so stressful when you're talking about the cost of preschool or these early childhood education centers. And the fact is, I like also what they mentioned, because there's strong research to support the fact that when a student or when a person just in general, even adults, when we feel comfortable in our settings, we're so much more capable of learning. And I do believe that's what's going to help close that gap.
So get these kids at young ages to feel confident
Right.
before they get into elementary.
Right.
It's genius.
They're not in a setting that's foreign to them.
Yeah, I hope they can expand that program.